Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. It is Life's a Drag here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, and all the podcasts around the world are doing their thing. And we figured we'd get back in it and get a full report on what's happened the past couple weeks here in our world, our life. And as always, Jason Galvin needed to take a phone call way too close to the show. So he is traveling right now. He will be in his car. So as always, his Wi-Fi will be stinky. It'll be terrible, but we'll figure that out. But he's on the road. He's going to Bowling Green, and then he'll be going to Indianapolis, where, as you can see, my background, that's where we'll be next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. But I figured we'd have a fun little show today, kind of recap the last couple races and kind of give you life on the road. And we do so with one of our favorite people. He has since left us. He is Mr. TV. He's become a major Hollywood star. He's shaking his head in the background, which he knows he has. He's gone Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. He's a TV star and a big TV star. I probably should have introduced him as Fox Sports TV's own WFO Joe Castello. There he is. What's up, Joe Castello? Come on, Joe.
Hello. How are you?
You're the podfather, man. You should
know
how to.
Good day to you, sir.
You should know you're supposed to start with the microphone on, Joe.
I know. I didn't know that I had turned it off. Then again, I don't even have a drink in here either. I'm very unprepared for this.
I've got like that much water. You can't even see it with the green screen.
Your intro really got me excited and also disappointed. Like, I wonder if I will retain the opportunity I have after that.
You will. Come on, listen. You got to put it out there in the atmosphere. If you say it enough times, it becomes real, and then they just have to make you that way.
That's true. It's not a lie if you believe it. So let's go with it. No, I've been doing a lot more. I'm excited. I love it. You know that. I'm telling you, like, this is a totally different thing that I've done, and I enjoy it. And it's been fun. Where's Galvin? What's this guy doing?
I don't know. But here's the deal. I would tell everybody, wow, your background looks amazing. But everybody on our show listens to your show, WFO Radio. Joe, tell us about your life. I mean, I want to know. I mean, I know, but, for everybody who's in here, let them know how you got started in radio and podcast broadcasting.
Wow, that's awesome.
As Allie says, not only do your TV's own, but you do have the best hair in drag racing, Allie Bland. Boom.
Yeah, I still say Tony Shortall, but I accept being in the conversation. Thank you for that.
By the way, let's give it back up to Allie. I'm glad Allie's feeling better. She had a minor incident in Topeka that we missed Allie for that race, and I'm glad she's feeling better.
Well, and I'm glad that we broke the streak, because we lost Galvin in Sonoma,
right,
when he poorly hydrated, and then we lost Allie in Topeka, and Reinhardt was starting to run with it a little bit, like maybe it was me, or maybe it was you, or it was definitely one of us. And then we go to Brainerd, and to my knowledge, everyone is okay, and nobody got sick.
Everyone's good. All right, so back to you, Joe. Tell us how you got your start.
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it. I know that there's a lot of different listeners and viewers out there, so if I could pick up one, that would be great. I'm a talk radio guy, man. Like, back in the day, from the time I was a kid, you got to think AM talk radio was a big thing, and I listened to talk radio. A lot of people would say Stern, Howard Stern, right? Like, there's a good example. Howard Stern is a perfect example. But here in South Florida, where I live, Miami area, we have a very rich history of talk radio. We had a lot of great local stuff, and even across the state. Some might remember Ron and Ron, the Ron and Ron Radio Network.
Love Ron and Ron.
They were great. Ron Bennington, Ron Diaz, Fez Watley, like a character-driven, entertainment-based talk radio that is not necessarily about one specific subject. It's more about a cast of characters and how they interact with the news that's coming at them each day. And they're like your friends and your family, and you turn them on every single day, and you're up on what they're doing. It was before social media and before mobile devices. It was really the first social media talk radio. I liked music, of course, but they never really played the music that I liked on the radio anyway. And so I would always go to talk, and I was a bracket racer, and I got a job through one of my fellow racers who was the head engineer at a radio station. So I got in as a board operator, and the rest is history. And here I am.
As they say, is history.
Yep.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job, Joe, doing everything you're doing. Like I said this year, you have gotten better and better and better. Do you stand in front of a mirror and practice these things, or do you talk to your cats? Like, oh, you call races when the cats are running around the house? What's going on?
Okay, I don't know. I will be very honest with you because you've invited me on here. The answer is no.
You're just good.
No, the answer is I think about it, and I do talk aloud to myself sometimes when I'm trying to communicate something or figure out the right way to communicate. But am I standing in the mirror practicing? No, I'm not doing that. But yes, I think about how to do a better job. Believe it or not, shocker. Just like a racer goes to work to be better at racing, and they think, like Justin Ashley visualizes every run, and he makes thousands and thousands of runs. All the advice that applies to being a successful driver also applies to our stuff. And so when I hear it, I think about it. And if I like it, I use it. And I apply it to what we're doing.
So you're saying basically just don't go out there and just, go with the flow, wing it. You have to put the work in. And you obviously have, Joe.
Thank you for saying that. Not necessarily, though. Sometimes winging it can be fun. And there has to be a great balance between having fun and doing your job. And especially when your job is to make sure other people have fun, which ours is.
Right. Like I'm constantly listening
Very
to music.
Serious interview, by the way. This is like,
Joe,
do you want me to cry? Is that what you're trying to do? You trying to do
Joe,
the Barbara Walters, make me cry?
How's your relationship with your parents, Joe? Talk about that.
Oh man, this is a real sore spot with me because throughout my life, it has been a problem that other people tend to hate me because I have a perfect relationship with my parents.
They hate you for that?
No, yeah. I've run into so many people that just can't stand the fact that I have a perfect relationship with my wonderful parents. And
I have a great relationship with my mom, and my parents. My dad just passed away, but up until he passed away, yeah, I was like the golden child in my house. I mean,
there's so many that don't though, and those
I don't
people.
Get that.
Think of all the movies, though. The parents, and the dad is jealous of the son, and he doesn't want him to be successful. And there's thousands of examples in literature and movies of poor relationships between dads and sons and parents, and that ain't me. I have a great relationship. It's awesome. And I stopped telling people about it years ago because it pissed people off. Oh, you with your perfect relationship with your parents.
Why do people
Don't
hate
brag
on things
about that? Okay.
Yeah, why do people hate? I mean, I could get, oh yeah, Joe's got this great job. He gets to talk about drag racing all the time. But yeah, hating on you because you like your parents. I don't understand.
I get well, I don't know. I get
Can we just chalk it up that people suck? Can we just do that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Definitely. We can chalk it up to that.
By the way, you're definitely one of the more positive people at the racetrack, Joe, and we like that about you. Because I'll try to bring I'll bring a cloud of darkness around every once in a while, but you keep it positive, man. You're the guy that keeps everything moving and shaking,
like a Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah, you're a Jack Russell Terrier. You're like pouncing around. Hey,
I heard that.
Let's do this. Yeah. Well, all right. So let's talk.
Why be negative about anything when you're at a drag race? You're not in a ditch. You're not digging a ditch. No. You're not, fighting for your life. You're not in a cubicle like Office Space. You're at a drag race. There are people all over the world that would, whether they know what you're going through behind the scenes or not, because, your job is totally misunderstood, as is mine. Oh, it's so good. You get to do these. Yes, we do. But it's still a job.
It's a job.
We're still being judged on our performance. And there are people who get pissed off. And it's not all roses. It's work.
It's work.
And it's work. But I'm coming in with a positive attitude. I can be knocked off course, though. I've been negative a few times.
Yeah, but not a lot. Not a lot.
Like right now, I'm pretty negative, where my Nest is telling me my air conditioner is offline. Things went south real quick right here.
It's going to get hot. How hot is it right there?
Right now,
the
outside temperature is 90 degrees.
Oof. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. So what the heck is going on, Nest?
I know. All right. So he's here. He's off the phone. He's in a car. So this is going to be a good shot. Here we go. Jason Galvin.
He's a driver.
He was there and he touched his phone. Now he's not there.
The hallmark of the Life's a Drag show, one of which is Galvin's unstable internet. It's just part of your show.
Look at him. Jason Galvin,
we're driving today, okay? It's not my fault if it's unstable. It wasn't unstable.
Where are you driving from and going to?
I'm driving from the great Indianapolis Regional Airport to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Everybody's favorite place.
I don't even feel comfortable with this guy driving. Like he's driving. You know, what kind of
Well, one of the things I'm looking at this
straight road for 105 miles.
All right, so look at this. So one of the things that we all do. So we obviously are three of the track, personalities. These two call themselves announcers. I'm just a personality, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But we all.
I believe I say announcer / reporter.
Okay, so you're
whenever prompted, just to try to make it sound bigger than it is.
Well, I don't know. In Topeka, I think I walked in and I was the last one after you did your jet car stuff, and I was the last one in the tower. And Austin was there, who was a guest on our show.
Yep.
And he goes, "I said, am I the last announcer here?" And he goes, "Announcer? Wait till I tell the guys."
Not only did he tell us, he texted us immediately.
Yeah,
he burned you on that. I love Austin. He's a good guy, and he did. He was very proud of his wit.
He was good with that.
By the way, Joe had to get back to the hotel and get some rest because his fire performance Friday night in Topeka was like world class. He brought everything to that one, so he needed to calm the voice.
That's true.
Yeah, you did. So, but one of the things we do is, so we all get our own vehicles. There's no ride sharing there. We don't get in a car. And we all like compare which kind of rental car we get. And some weeks I win. Joe wins a bunch. Galvin wins a bunch. Jason Galvin, I'm seeing paddle shifters right there. What kind of vehicle did you get from the Indianapolis Regional Airport?
I'm in a 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4x4.
Nice. That's what I had this past weekend. That's a nice little ride.
Yeah, I had to wait when I got to the airport. It is nice. First time I've had one. When I got to the airport, there were 7 minivans and not another car in sight. And so I lodged a protest and waited.
As you should.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's get into it. So
you can't show up in a minivan to a drag race. You just can't.
I've done
it. No. Yeah, I know you have.
Yeah, you can't.
I show up in whatever is available because I am not picky. Wink, wink. Right. So let's get into this. Let's talk about. All right. So do we even want to talk about Topeka? Let's just talk about how hot it was in Topeka.
Whoa! Is this your first show since Topeka?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of this. Because I had this stupid injury deal, which is why I was late to the show today too. We had a show last. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We had a show last week that we had to 86 at the last minute because I had to go see a specialist, who was very nice on the phone just now, by the way. So,
did you get good news? So they have to amputate?
I don't have to amputate. I'll just put it this way. There's a decent chance I'm going to show up to Reading with a cast on my hand, and I'll leave it at that. So, yeah. But I have a 2 millimeter tear of the ulnar collateral ligament, but it's kind of it's hard to tell in the MRI if it's a full or a partial tear. So
there was a question last night on my WFO Ignition podcast, because believe it or not, I talk about what's going on in our little universe, and everybody saw your wound, and they wanted to know what happened to you. And I tried to characterize it as you saving your son from a car door that was going to slam on him. That's how I remember it. What is the real?
I'm going to go with your story. Your story sounds better.
Yeah, that's what else could it possibly be? Lifting a car off a child, a heavy car.
Look, my wife drives a Traverse, and I had to physically pick it up, and when I got it over my head, I had to reach and grab my kid, and so then I was holding it one-handed, and the thumb just snapped. It's one of those things.
Makes sense.
Even Mr. Incredible has his bad days.
By the way, Joe Castello is the king of hyperbole. By the way, everything is the world's greatest. I mean, that story that Jason Galvin, you just told about Jason. I mean, he was being superhero right there. Kid was dying, going to fall out the car, and it just makes it bigger than anything at 40 miles an hour.
I'm a fairly hyperbolic person myself. That's probably why Joe and I get along so well.
What was the real story? Just give it to us, the real 10-second version of it.
Had the car door fully extended, was holding it like, straight out with my thumb, like kind of like the angle it's at right now, with the door kind of where the black thing is, it's supporting my thumb. And my kid went to get out of the car. He saw a bug. He screamed. I didn't know what he was screaming for. He jumped out. I jumped to turn and grab him because I wasn't sure if we were getting mugged. He was getting kidnapped. We were getting hit by a car. So I panicked, startled, jumped, turned, and all my weight was into the thumb, which went into the car door, which was fully extended and had no give, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, my
version.
Your version is way better, Joe.
Your version is better, yeah. but at least my heart was in the right place, right?
It was.
My heart was in the place of your version, to where if I needed to save my kid, I would have.
Well, that's where I think
sacrificed my. Yeah, exactly.
It's so great. Kids are the worst. I have 4 of them, and they're crazy.
Have kids, they said.
It'll be great. They said it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. He asked me yesterday. He asked me last night before I put him to bed. He goes, "Daddy, when you get back from driving the race car, if you have to have surgery, can I come?" And I went, "Yeah, if you want to. Why do you want to watch?" He goes, "No, I just want the iPad." I went, "Okay." All right. Well, at least he's honest.
I just want to play on the iPad while you get your thumb cut off.
He never gets the iPad, but he got it when I was at the doctor the first time because my wife was sleeping, so I had to take him. And he was like, "Oh, this is fun. I got the iPad for an hour and a half." So now he wants me to have the surgery so that he can have the iPad.
Yeah.
Addiction starts early.
The kid, hey, he's figured it out. All right, so let's talk Topeka. Good, bad race. What are we talking about? Topeka? Did you enjoy yourself, Joe?
I liked it. It was difficult. Yeah. It was physically strenuous and difficult. It was hot, but not as hot as the previous year, which was maybe one of the hottest experiences I've ever had. Speaking of hyperbole, Jason Logan may recall me crawling under the winner's stage just to, cut the sun by 10% because it's a metal grate. It was that difficult. This year, we didn't have that. This year, we had the unfortunate circumstance with Allie, which just kind of shuffled the deck, and everybody had different responsibilities, but we got through it just fine. And in spite of missing Allie, of course, but we handled it and we got out of there, and it was good. And the fans were good, and they were so nice. And we had that maybe it's the last race or maybe it's not kind of vibe. I certainly hope not. But there is that Flying H Motorsports Park that's right down the road, 100 miles away. And I recently posted a video, which I know you guys are promoting heavily for everyone to see exactly what's going on there. And I'm excited.
What's the viewership on that thing? We over 15,000 now?
We're over 30,000.
Oh my.
Yep. The Dragzine website picked it up, and a couple of other websites, I believe, picked it up. Some did not, which I was surprised at the people who did not pick up the first ever exclusive tour of Flying H Motorsports Park. You'd think within this community, everybody would have posted that, right? But they didn't. And but Dragzine did. And it's over.
But Joe's not bitter about that, for the record.
I'm just floating it out there, man. It's just a statement of fact.
You know what? This guy Grant, he's from the UK, and he always watch on .tv. And gotta say, love the banter and the crazy chats with you 3 and Alan. All right, Grant from the UK.
I hear that all the time. As much as information and vital statistics are important, the thing that keeps them coming back is the witty banter chit chat, the back and forth and the fun.
Yeah, we
are pretty good at that.
Yeah, we got into that in Brainerd a little bit. It was kind of fun. So all right, so Jason, that was your first time to Topeka. How was?
Yeah, I had a great time. Topeka's awesome. I don't know what you guys are talking about. The hotel was nice. The airport's beautiful. The weather was pretty good. It was a little hot. Sunday was nice once we got through the rain. It's cloudy, pretty.
So this guy is kind of full of it right now, and I'm a little bitter at Jason Galvin for this, just because he never experienced old Topeka. He's only experienced new Topeka. He never flew into the old airport from the 1950s with nothing, nowhere to be. He never experienced the mildew smelling hotel that is now been beautifully redone just for his arrival. He didn't experience any of those things. There's even new restaurants and nice things that we went to that, Blue Moose or whatever it was called. And he comes in and it's like, yeah, man, this place is great.
What are you guys talking about? No. And oh, by the way, he didn't walk from the tower to the pits, which Joe and I have done multiple times.
Thousands of times.
He commandeered a golf cart, and I don't know, he's just driving around like he's the mayor of freaking Topeka.
Well, the two previous years we did not have golf carts. This year we did have a golf cart, and see there you go. So like not bitter or anything, but no. Galvin, you caught the best Topeka year ever.
Great.
New airport, new hotel, golf cart, not as hot as last year.
Finals at night. Oh my God, how good were the finals at
night? Oh man. Look, who was it? Somebody proposed that we should run a race on a Saturday night after we did the Topeka finals. It might have been Tony Petricon on Loans' podcast.
Okay, well, that's not genius at all, and it's been discussed for the last 10, 15, 20 years. Everybody wants that. That's something that is a common discussion because...
Well, we haven't had the conversation in a long time, and it
might
have. Be worthwhile.
The WFO universe hears about that all the time because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. The reason that we don't have that, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't get that either, because then I could sleep in on a Sunday morning. And
let's talk about the important things here.
We could go to church. We could worship our Lord and Savior properly, not just before we race cars.
Here we go again.
I'm just saying. I'm cool with staying up.
Jason, when you walk into a church, they literally escort you right back out.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Let me tell you something, Jason Galvin. Jesus hung with the sinners. Saying, right? Am I right, Allie Bland? Am I right, Allie Bland? Hallelujah.
Jesus was out there at Brainerd, and this is a perfect segue opportunity.
Yes,
Jesus was out there in Brainerd.
By the way, I can't believe I didn't get a picture of Jesus, drag racing Jesus, but there was drag racing Jesus and drag racing Yeti and Yeti Junior.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. So
the Yetis had a weird obsession with Joe Castello.
They did. What was that all about, Joe?
They're listeners, they're longtime drag racing fans, and I think they understand that I appreciate what they're trying to accomplish with the Yeti costume.
What are they trying to accomplish?
They're making a name for themselves in drag racing, right? Like every sport has got to have its crazy fans. Not everybody can just be sitting there watching. You've got to have some people over the top, like the guy who is Darth Raider, right? Like you don't want to be him, but somebody's got to be him.
Okay, fair.
To go back to church, the John 3:16 guy with the rainbow wig, right?
There's got to be those people. Otherwise, you're not in a real sport. And this guy wears a Yeti suit. And he's our crazy over-the-top fan with his Yeti suit. That's all. And I get it.
The 49ers, the 49ers have a guy who I swear looks homeless, who plays a banjo and walks around in jean overalls with a banjo and otherwise looks homeless, and he's at every 49er game. So Joe makes
every team has got that guy. We have got the fins up guys, and there's a whole bunch of them. Every team.
We used to have the guy who, and I never knew him, so forgive me on this. I understand he passed away, but I remember when growing up at Pomona, my entire life was the guy who had the big cowboy hat with the supercharger on top of it. That guy was awesome.
Yeah, well,
that guy be on the fence at Pomona for every race.
The guy with the patches jacket from Bristol, we got him.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of fans. There's Drag Race Jesus, and there's the Yeti. The guy with the big helmets was there, and he was actually bummed out. He said that he did helmets 2 years ago, and he didn't make the TV show, and so he was disappointed, and he didn't bring his helmets back. And, of course, I excoriated him for being a quitter. That is not acceptable. Just because you don't get on the show
I agree.
with your big, giant helmets, it's not just about TV, sir.
Right.
Wear your helmet. Bring it.
And the guy, Zach says Sonoma has a group of guys that wear the American flag singlets every year. So, yeah,
yes.
No, I get that. Okay. There was a guy in Phoenix that used to have a big sombrero that was like it was the size of a dinner table. It was the biggest thing. He always hold up a picture of Cruz.
So that's one of the things that's wrong with drag racing is that the fans don't just go all out, like the big giant heads that you see. A couple of years ago, people were bringing big heads. There was a Cruz Pedregon head, and there were a couple of big heads floating around there in the stands. And I get it. People don't want to block people's view behind them. And so they're actually being polite. That's great. But you got to show that this sport is over the top. That's why there are signs. People need to bring signs, Jason Galvin, greater than the Nature Boy, stuff like that.
Woo!
That's right. Jim Essex says,
what the Yeti costume smells like on the inside? Why you got to go there, Jim?
Because he's just living life. He understands.
I'm not gonna lie. I had that thought at one point looking at them on Sunday.
Oh, and I get mad at him when he takes the mask off. It's like, you're not allowed to take the Yeti mask off.
You were yelling at that kid during. Yeah, you were yelling at that kid during the Winter Circle. Don't take the mask off, kid.
Don't take the mask. If you're gonna go, you got to commit to the bit.
Right. Exactly. That's the problem, and that's the problem. Like when I DJ weddings, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my God, we're gonna have a big group like bridal party dance, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna start off slow, and then we're gonna turn on like some like Gangnam Style, and they have some predetermined dance that they do, and then half the guys at the bridal party don't do it, and it looks dumb. I'm like, if you're gonna do it, you have to buy into it and do the whole dance.
Yep. Pretty much.
So Jason Galvin, Brainerd was your first. This was your first time at Brainerd for a drag race. How did you like Brainerd?
I loved Brainerd. That quickly became one of my favorite races on the tour. And the zoo didn't even have anything to do with it. Like the zoo was great. It was very cool. But like I just loved the event. The people were very nice. The crowd was really into it. I liked that whole area. I don't know. It was nice, pretty. I'm a big water guy, so I like having the lakes nearby. I thoroughly enjoyed our dinner Thursday night out there by the water, and
right.
I'm a big fan.
Yep. So let's look at some.
I found like my favorite beer in the world. I got to figure out how to ship more of that to us.
Oh, that was good. That beer, that coffee beer you brought.
Yeah, the coffee blonde ale is phenomenal.
Yeah, that was good. So let's look at some photos that Joe Castello might have been in and might have taken all of them because he's our resident shutterbug. So here's Gull Lake, where we went and had dinner on Thursday night.
I couldn't have taken that one.
Nope, you were in that one, but we got that one. Nicole Erickson.
How did you get that one? I asked Kurt to text it to us, and he never texted.
Oh, what?
We had this. Nicole Erickson Clark said that this is our new band cover, our album cover.
I saw that. Yeah.
I love the seagull remnants all over the dock. They did a pretty good job of. Very nice, though. Very beautiful place. Like, I'd love to get on a boat and go cruise around out there.
Which we're going to do next year, Joe. We're going to get in early.
Next year, we're planning that, yeah.
We're going on Gull Lake. Then, and then this is the night before we went out there, before the zoo. And as you can see, we're all wearing our fire T-shirts.
That was very greatly appreciated. There's a lot going on in this photograph. First of all, and most importantly, my first ever Culver's experience. Yes. I had never been to Culver's. I'm willing to talk about that if you'd like.
I would love it. That's where we were going next, Joe. Talk about your Culver's.
People in this photograph, I consider a friend and very good at their job and part of the NHRA team. And as a way of, recognizing their talent and ability, but also promoting my own thing, I've given them all a shirt, and they somehow colluded to wear them all into the zoo. I thought it was great. You guys really surprised me. It was awesome, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. No, but let's talk about Culver's, okay?
Okay.
You've never been to Culver's. I thought for sure you had been to Culver's, and I don't know why I thought that, but talk about your Culver's experience, Joe.
Okay. So what makes this significant is that we pass a lot of Culver's, and we lost Galvin. Yeah, it doesn't come across as appetizing to me. Like the name Culver's, the logo, none of it is triggering my subconscious hunger. It sounds good. None of it. It just doesn't sound appetizing to me. There's a lot of science and research that go into like the McDonald's and the colors, and Culver's has taken advantage of none of it. So they're building a Culver's right near my house, like 5 minutes away. And it's like, oh my God, this is the first Culver's anywhere near me. And I've been interested to go to this Culver's. All right, it's right near my house. I'm going to try it out. It's so close to home. And then we were in a little bit of a desperation time trying to get some sort of food rapidly before we went out into the zoo. And so the idea of going to Culver's popped up. And I thought, I really wanted my first Culver's experience to be at the one near my house, but maybe it's better to have it in its natural environment. Minnesota, Wisconsin, right? Culver's.
Yeah,
so
Butterburgers.
We went in there to Culver's, and I had a big debate between the butter burger, the double bacon cheeseburger, or the Northern Cod sandwich.
Gosh.
By the way, you're hating on the Northern Cod sandwich. The Northern Cod sandwich is fantastic there. It is one of the better fish sandwiches.
What's it made out of?
Cod, Northern Cod.
Sure? How do you know?
By the way, if you go, listen, the freshest thing you can get and the realest thing you can get at McDonald's is a fillet of fish. That is real fish in there.
I stopped getting the fillet of fish when they got away from the blue styrofoam containers. Oh, that was it. No blue styrofoam, no fish at McDonald's.
What was that, like 1986?
Yeah, it's an old reference.
By the way, we're going to get.
Have you heard of the McDLT there, Jason?
Oh my God, McDLT is amazing.
It's the hot side,
cold side, cold.
Right. Exactly. So Culver's was good. Burger was good. Cheese curds were good. I was going to get French fries, and they're like, get the cheese curds, and I did, and it was great. And if this is the experience, also they have desserts and various things which I haven't tried yet. I will save that for home. Hopefully, South Florida doesn't ruin the Culver's experience like it has ruined so many other things. And I'll actually have a good place to go, very close to my house.
By the way, the best thing Culver's has done in the past ever that it's existed is they've gotten rid of Pepsi products and they brought in Coke products over the past year and a half, and that has been a game changer. Like I like Culver's food, but I'm not going there. I always get root beer, but I'm not doing the Pepsi products. I'm not a Pepsi fan.
What's wrong with root beer?
No, root beer is good. I would get the root
Culver's root beer because they had their own branded root beer, so I went with that.
Yeah, and how was it?
It was great.
And you got cheese curds. By the way, in Minneapolis and just that whole Wisconsin, Minnesota area, cheese curds are a real thing, and we ate cheese curds at every meal.
We ate a lot of cheese curds.
That's what the scale said when I got home. Whoa.
So that was good. But then, so we got food, and then we headed into the zoo. Oh, look at that. There we are at Camp Pallet.
Oh, look at that. There it is.
We weren't, the pallet was not high enough, so Kurt on his knee there decided he needed to add a little wood to the fire, like a typical pyromaniac he is. And then we headed to the Jaeger bar, and there we are. That's Kurt expressing Joe how he feels about taking his picture.
Number one.
He's number one. And then our friend Nikki Sheely, she found this nice lady.
Who is that nice lady there, Jason Logan?
That's Jackie Fink.
Frick. Good.
I knew it was.
This is why we don't let Logan call the races, right? Every once in a while, Logan gets on and he's like, "Oh man, Logan doesn't sound bad," and then he calls her Jackie Fink, and we know.
Yeah, it's all right. Michael Heiner's on there, guys.
I knew Sean's gonna watch this and be like, that might be accurate, you know.
And there we are at our beautiful hotel, Hannah and Joe, without the shirts, but that's okay because Hannah's going online. By the way, Hannah's going online, and she's going to purchase a T-shirt like you can. If you would like to get yourself a fire T-shirt, there it is. There's the website.
You're putting a link up there. Definitely put that in the chat so they can click on it directly as opposed to typing down all those letters. But yes, wow, look at this. Jason Logan is actually promoting WFO swag. Thank you, Jason.
Because at some point in time, this show's going to have swag.
Yeah.
And we will definitely be, doing that.
Well, if you want, like, honestly, if you want to send me some of your artwork, we can just put it up in the WFO store and you can get your gear there.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that. By the way, Galvin. All right. So Galvin. So
do I sense a WFO Life's a Drag like collaboration happening?
I don't know.
Do I sense Jason Galvin's microphone like falling off the earth? Yes, I do.
Yeah. So
Michael Heiner? Really? Heiner in the place.
Yep, Michael Heiner's here. By the way, let's see what Michael Heiner has to say. Nice camera angle. By the way, Michael Heiner was yelling at me on the starting line as Derek Kramer was coming up for the semifinals. And he's over there yelling, "Back in black! Back in black!" Just screaming, and I can hear him. But I'm like, what did you say? I don't understand what you're saying. And in my head, I'm going, I've already played this 9 times. And then Nikki Sheely texts me. She goes, he wants Back in Black. And I was like, you tell him he's not the boss of me, and I'll do what I want. That's how I feel about that.
I think you should do what Heiner asks you to.
I did. I played it.
But have a good year, man. Michael Heiner and those guys are having a good year. They're right in the middle of the championship fight. That's exciting. Like, if you like pro stock, you could look at it in a couple of different ways. Like, hey, isn't it cool that you've got a shot to win the championship? Or don't screw this one up, Mitchell. Right?
Someone needs to play decent music. We'll have your kid come out there because his kid finds me quite entertaining.
Yeah. You guys share a name.
So Galvin, how did you feel about the zoo? Did it live up to everything you thought it was going to live up to, or was it overhyped?
I don't know. It probably didn't live up to the hype, but also I was told by more than one person that we might have caught it on a down night a little bit, and also our tour guide sucked ass. He was terrible. Our tour guide was awful. Last time I let Joe hire a tour guide, for the record.
Okay.
The guy he put in charge sucked.
So
first off,
who was in charge? Just so I understand it, because we did have a couple of different issues. The first and foremost was a massive disparity in the speed of our golf carts.
Well, that wasn't ours. First off, let's talk about the golf carts. You gotta have all right, so in years past, and Galvin's talking about me being the tour guide. In years past, you have to they've kicked people out of the zoo if they didn't have lights on their vehicles. If you bring in bottles of whatever alcohol, they confiscate them right there at that little bandstand thing when you go over the thing. And we get to the golf carts, and the lights, there's no tail lights on our golf cart that Galvin and I were in. And we're like, I go, dude, I hope we don't get in trouble here. But again, it probably was because it's a down year. There wasn't a lot of people there, so they let everybody get in there. But all of a sudden, as you put your foot on the gas, the front light came on. All right, so we're good there. But then Joe got in the slower golf cart, and Kurt Spittler decided he needed to drive this golf cart like he stole it, and was just taking off. And so we had to slow down. We had to stop and do everything like that. Maybe if I was driving, I could have found some things, but it's dark back there. It's been a year since I've been back there. We were trying to find judges, and we couldn't find judges. We thought the Jaeger bar was judges, and then we're like, no, that's not judges. And we're like, I have no idea.
But to be fair,
Who's we? We is you in this entire conversation.
I'll take all the credit for it. I apologize that you didn't have as much fun as you should have. You sorry son of a...
Yeah. Jerk.
Two things can be true at once, gentlemen, and here's the deal. It was a light year. We didn't get to hit some of the traditionally big and great bars, but we were in the right place at the right time to see a nitro-powered margarita mixer fire up.
Yeah, yes. That's true.
And if we were on the other side of the zoo when that happened, we would have certainly felt like we missed something. And judging by the celebrity driver factor of those around us at said margarita mixer,
right?
I feel like we were exactly where we needed to be. We swung by Camp Pallet. I was presented a wonderful beverage by Nicole Waite, and they treated us like lifelong friends and family. Like, what's better than that? Where else are we going to go?
No, you didn't need to go anywhere.
But it was a light year, though, Galvin. Like, normally it's more people, more intense. And you should have known, Jason should have driven you right to where we should have been.
I still had fun. I had a great time. It was a great night.
You better have fun. Like, what's the not have fun?
Monday morning and we didn't feel like tipped over.
Right. Yeah, and there's been many a year that I've left. There's been many a year that I've left Camp Pallet, and I don't know how I got back to my hotel room.
There's still a stain in the parking lot of the hotel we stay in from the stomach acid.
From my partner puking.
Fairness,
that was a good one.
I witnessed that.
In fairness,
like,
there's
whoa.
When we get back to Sonoma next year, there's still going to be a stain in the parking lot of three fat guys. So we all
true.
Leave our marks somewhere.
You got to remember to stay hydrated, Jason Galvin. You got to remember to hydrate.
Yeah, I'm sure that was the problem.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem. Was the hydration was the problem, Joe.
That was the problem. That's it. You didn't hydrate yourself. You became dehydrated.
Joe's trying to shove espresso down his throat. But again, going back to getting into the zoo, Joe, you were very up on. You were ready to go when you walked into Culver's. Like, what am I going to get? I don't know what I'm going to get to eat. I've never been here before. What's going on? And the scene we created in Culver's, just trying to get food. Calvin comes in. He'll have this. He'll have that. Just eat it. No, get the cheese curds. What's the matter with you? But you were ready to go. You were like on a mission to get back to that zoo.
Absolutely. Well, you had you gotten annoyed that we were taking too long and that we weren't going to get in there until 9 o'clock, and I take that seriously. And so I just, we had to go.
It was 8:40.
We had to eat. You have to eat before you go in there, and we did. And it was great. And Culver's was great, and the staff was great. They actually cared about my opinion as a first timer, and it was all good. So the fireworks.
By the way, I actually thought we might have been in there a little early. So, in the zoo, like, we could have been there 30 minutes later, and it would have been fine. So.
Yeah.
Well, we also had somebody who didn't want to stick around for fireworks. We're not sticking around for fireworks, and sure enough, fireworks happened, and we were in there for them.
Look, I am fortunate that the first year I ever went into the zoo, I stayed too long. I lost my phone. I went to Camp Pallet. Somebody called it. It was returned to me. Then the second year I went out in the zoo. That's when I coined the phrase, don't be a zoosh, which is this couple of guys wanted to fight me, and I had to get out of it using my brain power, which I did. And
is that because they don't like fire?
No, they
don't like Joe's relationship with his parents. That's what's going on.
That's what it was. No, they some at Camp Pallet, some of the girls had asked me to take their photograph, and I did with their camera. And the Zoosh was in the background, like, "Hey man, you took my picture on accident, and you need to go delete that." And I'm like, "What?" And I gave them the old look over there, and then I disappeared into the crowd.
Hey, look over there.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane, look at that.
I'm gonna go delete it right now. I'll be back. That was it.
Yeah, there's been plenty of fight that has happened in the zoo. Plenty of
racing fans drunk fighting. No,
the thing. Well, it definitely turned me around on the zoo, because I thought this is great, everybody's nice, and then I realized no, they're not. But the person who really put me on to the way to handle the zoo experience is known as the king of the zoo, as in Ron Capps. I went out there several years with he and Ron Tobler and observed the way that they handled the situation and just emulated it. You go out there, you hang out. When the fireworks happen, you watch them and you leave. That's it.
That's
anything after the fireworks is not necessary. And so that's what we did. And it was perfect. So
it was perfect.
Mr. Capps, the king of the zoo.
By the way, are we really calling it the zoo anymore? Or are we going to call it the jungle like John Force called it?
The jungle.
I thought about this. Awesome. I have spent time thinking about this.
Okay.
This is the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about when I'm just, at home. And it's really hard to unbrand 40 years of the zoo.
Yeah. But John Force did it.
But the zoo is a bunch of animals in captivity, which is not what's going on out there.
No, it's not.
So I don't know, man. I think the jungle is more accurate of what we're dealing with out there. People that are wild and free, doing whatever the heck they want to do in the moment.
Free range, baby. Free range.
Which is much more like the jungle. So I think Force is onto it, and King of the Zoo, Ron Capps, decreed it. And so it's up to Christie to rebrand it as the jungle and the zoo. It's going to be very tough. It's 40 years old, but nothing zoo about it.
Nope.
Nobody in cages and captivity, people staring at them as they walk in circles. It's not what it is.
Did you like all my jungle music that I played?
I did, especially Morris Day and the Time.
Yeah, Jungle Love, come on.
Good stuff.
But Alan started talking over it and was like, come on, let me get to the
Joe
put
way too much thought into this, for the record.
Speaking of Alan Reinhart, how does John Force invite him to see a movie and he's like, nah?
Yeah, but the movie, I wouldn't go see that movie with John Force either.
That's a good question.
I would definitely go see the Barbie movie if John Force asked me to go see the movie. It's got Margot Robbie. Robbie is super smoking hot, and everything she's been in is typically great. There goes Galvin again.
He hates this conversation already.
And I would have gone. Yeah, sure, John. I'll go see Barbie with you. That would have been a great story for the rest of your life. Yeah, the time me and Force went to see Barbie, and something is going to happen while you're there.
Could you imagine going to see the Barbie movie with John Force and how that would go? That would, he would talk through the entire thing.
Who knows? You have to have that experience. And Reinhardt, like shame, Reinhardt.
All right.
You missed it.
You know what? You're right. I probably would go see Barbie movie with John Force because I want to hear the commentary that he just probably not paying one bit of attention. Why is everything pink? What's going on here? Who's this Ken guy?
I talked to Force about it.
Oh, okay.
I got his review that it was actually very good, and that it turns into something that's actually a positive message. I got the whole Siskel and Ebert John Force review.
He gave it 2 thumbs up.
He did. He did give it 2 thumbs up. What do you think I was doing in that 50-minute oil down?
No kidding. By the way, all right, going back to old references, the 2 thumbs up is definitely an old reference for, anybody. Like Galvin probably doesn't even know what that is.
No.
But like Reinhardt had a couple really good old references this weekend. He referenced Smokey and the Bandit with that's an attention getter.
Yep.
And then he had another one that I was like, dude, you were pulling these out from left field, and I love it because you and I, we talk about how our references are completely and totally old. We got to pay attention.
Self-awareness, at very least, we've gotten to that phase of the awareness of the old references.
Yeah, and and I mean, I kind of like them because then we can just, give it, we can show our age a little bit, and then we can give the young whippersnappers, a piece of our mind, like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the young whippersnappers, they're the worst.
They need to know, Joe. They need to know their history. Like my kids. Like they're like, oh, Dad, we need, play. They're playing, top 40 music and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know what any of that is. So when they were little, I made them listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. I made them listen to James Brown. They had to listen. They had to grow up to listen to stuff. Michael Jackson. We got him a record player, like one of the little box record players one year for Christmas. The albums we got him were the Beatles' White Album. And then Led Zeppelin 4. I was like, dude, we got to get the lead out. What are we talking about? And then the best part was, I go, yeah, go ahead, play your record. And they couldn't figure out how the record player worked, and I had to show them, and that just kind of made me giggle. Because
my little nephew just got his first record player as well, and I was real proud of him that he got a record player. But yes, vinyl, it's kind of an interesting deal. You got to go through all this stuff. How do you skip to the next song? It's not
tough.
easy. It's not easy.
How do we get on the topic of vinyl? My phone overheats one time, and we're talking about vinyl.
We were talking about old references.
We talk about the cool stuff when you're gone.
Yeah, old references lost on younger viewers.
Yeah. Count me in.
Well, I was, I forget where I was. Maybe it was at the World Series of Pro Mod, and a couple of younger lady racers, let's call them 19, 20, came up to the tower, and I heard them complaining about you, Jason Logan.
Of course. Who
playing Young MC, and their dad was into it. And they're like, that's my dad's music. I don't listen to that. And I would have loved to have been able to ask them, okay, what's hot? Like, what do you guys want to hear? I think that's very important to keep the cutting edge of the youth going in our music. But what is it is the question. I got my ear to the ground. I'm up on current things.
Listen, they know, like, if you like Drake, then you like Young MC. That bothers me at events like that I go and play. Like this group will only going to dance to this. It's all got a beat. It's all good.
Yeah, Heiner says you guys are old. Yeah,
we are.
You know what bothers me? You know what bothers me?
What?
Modern day music. Modern day music bothers me. Very simple.
And Monica, I don't get on the Taylor Swift bandwagon. That stuff I can't even listen to.
You should though. You really should.
No, it's good. But like in the zoo. Somebody cornered Hannah, which is great, by the way. I love watching people this year, especially. Like, we all have our groups of people that like us and the people that don't like us. And Hannah got cornered by some Hannah fans. And they were like, I could hear this guy talking, and all of a sudden I hear my name. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So my ears perk up. I stop listening to whatever's going on over there. She goes, yeah, what's up with that Jason guy? He plays all this rap music. I hate that stuff. And he looks over and he goes, oh, he's right there.
That's awesome.
And I was like, hey, man, you tell me you don't like my music. Guess what? I'm bringing it back even harder. That's why I play, I play some stuff that I probably shouldn't play out there.
50 years of hip hop, man. This is the 50th anniversary of the birth of hip hop. It's something that should be celebrated, maybe even more so than it already is.
Yes, but listen, I play rock, I play country, we play all kinds of stupid stuff out there. So
here we go.
It's music.
Jason Logan musical rant coming at you.
Listen, don't even.
Look, we play It's Raining Tacos, okay,
Yeah. I'm getting really good at. I just downloaded a TikTok song that's like the #1 song in the country right now, single. Oh, it's so good. I wish I could play it right here, but I can't.
It's a TikTok song?
Yeah, it's a TikTok song. Guy got famous on TikTok from it.
Yeah, that's where they find the
Joe,
music.
Joe, do you TikTok?
Not really. WFO Radio has a TikTok. There's redeeming value in some of the TikToks. I just can't get past the connection to the Chinese.
China.
Yeah, can't do it.
High five.
Yeah,
I
know. It's one of the other things that people get angry at me about is thinking about that stuff. But no, man, I'm not giving them my data. But I did. But I just don't spend a lot of time on it.
You should. It's really good. Like last night, I woke up at like 5 a.m. or this morning. And I couldn't go back to sleep. TikTok till about 7, and I fell back.
Oh, this is so great! Like exactly, you're just promoting addiction to something. Like, isn't this great? Look, I just.
But yeah, all right. So there's all that stuff. All right, so let's talk about Indy, the Big Go, because we're getting ready to go into that one. Galvin, you're racing at it. I'm kind of excited. I mean, I need
wait
you
a
to
second.
Yeah.
Can I, before we get to Indy,
okay,
maybe you should mention the tremendous moment that's going to be happening on WFO tomorrow.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
At 3 p.m. Eastern time.
So you're having the new
I can't say exactly what it is going to be, and neither should you.
I won't say it, but you're going to have Antron Brown on, right?
Well, he did win the race.
Yep.
And so we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So this is news to me that Joe. I didn't realize that Joe had the inside scoop to make this announcement tomorrow.
The historic. Antron Brown is going to be on WFO at 3 o'clock. I suggest everybody check it out. He may have some interesting things to talk about.
There's a rumor floating around in my world, Joe, that there may be stickers on my race car this weekend that also could correspond to the announcement, interview, whatever, tomorrow as well. So,
well, I don't like to step on anybody's announcement, and so I just choose to sit back and be surprised like everybody else. Like, what's going to happen? Who knows, man? Who knows?
Hey,
all together the media, they're going to have an announcement. What's it going to be? But I can tell you right after, Antron Brown is going to be joining me on WFO Radio to answer all questions.
Beautiful. We love it.
Hey,
Breaking
can we talk?
news.
Hey, real quick, by the way, can we talk about what before we put a total wrap on Brainerd Monday Nationals? Can we talk about Madison Gordon running a 5:49 in licensing and an all-call funny car?
Yeah. Thank you for sending me that video, by the way. That was tremendous.
Like, she would have been the number 2 qualifier at the national event on Sunday. It was her 3rd full pull ever in the car.
Well, the patience it takes to make that gear shift, like just letting it run out, and bam, hitting it. Like, she did such a great job. I think she went a 50 and a 49 in a couple of runs.
Her half track run was like a 66, which is wild. And then she ran a 51 or 54, a 50 and a 49. I mean, just rock star.
Yeah.
So,
and since we're going backwards before we finally move forward, I just want to mention the Scott Palmer deal.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
T's and P's.
One of my, he's up. He's taking pictures and taking selfies now with people, so it's okay. I had someone send me the video. One of my WFO listeners sent me the video, and there's a little question about whether or not people should want to see the video, and I think we're obligated to see the video. Like, there was someone was like, it's disrespectful to post a video for Scott Palmer, and it's like, I don't know about posting it. I certainly haven't posted it, but I shared it with my friends who are drag racing knowledgeable. Like, I think we all have to see that, as painful and scary and frightening as it is, and it was, to understand what our friend Scott came through. And it's amazing that he came through that. That was nasty.
Yeah. If you would have sent me that video and I had no idea it was Scott Palmer, I had no idea he was okay, I would have left that video thinking whoever drove that car is no longer with us. So kudos to the safety stuff in the race cars and to how well Scott built that car. But it was wild. But I'm with you also, Joe. Like, the only way
that we're going to hear from you is for you to get better internet.
I love this show so much. It is the best.
What did I bother you about? I told you, it's like, you gotta raise the, he's driving.
I know. He's like, he goes, first off, you got to have a show all the time. And then you got to have better production, which, by the way, Joe, I made a call about better production today.
Good job. No, yeah, it's just got to be reasonable. Let's see who down there. Scott Malpass, Pickle Rick says that Wes showed it today on his show. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Days have gone by. Palmer's up. You should be showing it. Absolutely. I don't know whose YouTube channel that was, the one that I saw, unless it was a different one.
There's no other angle than the one I saw, right? It's just that
I know of.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that did look pretty hairy.
Palmer is racing at a track where there's one guy with a cell phone. It's bizarre. But thank goodness, like really, like Scott Palmer is a genuine American hero. We're talking about Smokey and the Bandit and the Legend of the Bandit. Well, Scott Palmer is like that guy. He's got this crew of people that they'll do anything for him. And he's got all these race cars and he's an amazing character and he's fun and positive. And he just went through a nasty one, man. And so,
well, and here's something else too that you and I don't know if you take this for granted, but sometimes I take this for granted. When I saw the video, I'm like going, where's the other shot? I need to see it from top end. I need to see the top end run.
Well, this guy is driving into the night. It's total darkness down there. And all of a sudden, beyond the finish line, it's an 8th mile track. So, calculate it. It's just a massive fireball. It looks like the Trinity test. And it's just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And then you hear the car is rolling, but you can't see it.
Right.
So I'm with you, but I don't think,
no, but that's what we forget. It's like, because we are the big show. I mean, the big national events, we have multiple camera angles. We have Fox Sports out there. So you forget that you're like, I was like, what, who's going to give me this top end view? Because I mean, as sick as that is, I kind of wanted to see what really happened. But yeah, I'm glad he's
on board. These guys are saying, Monica and Pickle Rick are saying that there's an on board from a GoPro. I'll go check that out too. I've yet to see that.
I don't need to see all that though. But now that I've ranted about it. But all right. So anyways, I guess Galvin's having some major issues with.
Yeah, he's blaming the StreamYard.
Yeah, you can't blame StreamYard. All right, so let's talk about Indy. See, he's not here. Here's the thing too. I hope Galvin. He's talking about putting stickers on his car. You've got WFO stickers. I personally purchased FIA stickers.
Thank you. And everybody is commenting, by the way. All my friends at home are commenting that you are a genuine friend for posting the stickers. So thank you.
Of course. Listen, hey, if I see you, I will get you a sticker. But Jason Galvin, is there any chance we get Life's a Drag stickers on your car? In Indy.
Do you have them made already?
Nope. But I'm saying, do you know how that works?
Can we get them made before Thursday next week?
You guys really don't know how to do this, do you? Like, this
no,
is the thing. You guys are like little baby birds trying to fly. It's like, hey, out there in the audience, these guys need some stickers. They've got the artwork. Who can do it? Who wants to help these guys as they try to fly? And the answer is someone is going to reach out to you, a virtual producer, and offer to help you guys with your sticker problem. How big do you want the sticker there, Jason Galvin?
It doesn't need to be
Jason Logan's the one who wants to put it on the race car.
Why not? This is your show too.
No, not that big. Not that big. We have paying sponsors, folks. Paying sponsors.
Like, it could be that big.
Just a little circular one like that would be great. We could put one right next to my name on each door.
I'm not saying we need one like that.
Yeah, that's probably too big.
You could also
what is it in a dragster? Each side panel.
Yeah. By the way, Will Smith. Alcohol dragster. My face on it in Norwalk. Get it up.
Yeah, why are we getting the echo now all of a sudden there?
Because he put the sound in the car.
Why'd you do that?
The sound's been in the car the whole time.
Yeah, now it's all of a sudden it's gone south.
I'm blaming this on mobile StreamYard for the record.
I'm blaming it on.
I sent you pictures.
Your failure to hydrate.
Yeah. I sent you.
All right, so Galvin, you're running your car this week, and you're getting tuned up in Kentucky. Then we're taking it to Indy. Are we going to go rounds in Indy? Because seriously, I got to have something to cheer for in your category.
Gotta hope so.
This guy's winning
After
it, guys.
last year.
I'm
Last
telling
year
him,
was
making the call right here. Galvin is winning the deal because of his bum hand. He's got this problem. He was trying to explain how he lets go of the button, something like this. I don't really get it, but
yeah, Joe had it. Yeah.
Right? Like you kind of go like that. I don't. Where'd you learn that?
Yeah. Self-taught.
Really? That's how you decide.
By the way, did I fix it? So here's where that came from. We had a little issue one year. We were going some rounds at a bracket race in Vegas, and the way that I was holding the button was perhaps precarious. And I thought I had the button pressed down in like the 4th or 5th round, and apparently I didn't have enough leverage on it, and so the trans brake didn't engage. And the way that I compensated for that was by switching to the method that you just showed, which I can't even demonstrate because this brace won't allow my fingers to come together. But yes, like that. Yeah. So I just pull back, but that way I knew I had 2 fingers that could feel the button, so I knew I was on the button basically.
See, I like right hand, straight back.
Well, this week I can tell you I'm going David Quadra, which is pointer finger, because we have a digit that's out of order. So.
That's why he's winning, folks. He's going to be out of his comfort zone. Bayer's going to have the car dialed right. Galvin can actually drive, in spite of what people might think. He's actually got some talent, and everything is coming together, man.
You're
in the winner's circle.
Yeah, you're definitely going to the semifinals, because if you don't, it'll be a wash for the entire weekend. Semifinals are bust, and then all bets are off. Jason Galvin.
Jason, let me just tell you this. If I get to race on Monday at the U.S. Nationals,
that's a win.
It's going to be a part. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say, right? If you get to race
Can I back you up?
In a sportsman series class, if you make it to Monday at the U.S. Nationals, life is good. Yeah, you can back, dude. If we make it to Monday, you could back me up.
You cannot back him up. No one can back up super comp cars. Can
I brush your tires off the back?
You can pull me into the beams.
You cannot pull him in the beams. You're not allowed to do that. That would be humiliating to Jason Galvin, to anybody putting him in the beams. Nobody puts a super comp car in the beams, and if you have someone putting you in the beams, it's a problem.
I'll wear hot pants, and I will come out there with some furry boots. I will do the whole thing, man.
Just stand behind the car like that. That's good enough.
No, I want to be a part of his world. Hey, by the way, if you're there, I'm going to be back behind that car. Joe Castello can't say he would do that. I will, though.
Well, we'll be on the mic, man. We'll be calling.
I was just going to say, Joe Costello will be on the microphone.
That's why he can't do it. That's why I'm the only one. And when you win, I'm going to go, that's my roommate.
Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. If you beat anybody and I'm the mic, I'm on the mic, I'm going to be like, and you have been galvanated. Right?
Galvanized. How about galvanized? And I'll play galvanized. Oh,
see?
Joe, that's it.
Dun,
dun, dun. Oh my God, that is his new theme song. Mother of Pearl. Oh, Joe Castello, that's good. All right, so Joe, tell everybody what we're looking, how exciting, and all the fun stuff that's going to be happening with some call-outs and everything like that. Get us all hyped up, Joe, because this is what you do best. You get excited for a big race. Go!
Okay, as when I came on, you said, I'm big and you don't need an introduction, right? This is the U.S. Nationals. You shouldn't need to tell people how great it is. But since we're hoping that people will bring first timers out there to the biggest, most significant, most important drag race on the planet, i.e. the Indy 500, the Daytona 500, the biggest, best things in whatever you like. That's what this is for drag racing. It is the biggest. It's going to be 900 competitors. It's going to start on Wednesday. It's going to end on Monday. There's countless of events within the event: the Dodge Hemi Challenge, Factory Stock Showdown, class eliminations in stock and super stock, which just by themselves are a huge accomplishment for all of those racers and awesome to watch. But we'll have the funny car call out. Ron Capps is the points leader, as I understand it. I don't know. We're going to have to double check, but I think Caps gets to call out the competition. We'll see. I believe we're going to have the final Too Fast, Too Tasties. Galvin, is that true? We got in Pro Stock and that final.
Yes, with even more money on the line than usual. So
So,
by the way, let me ask you this question: if the winner of the Too Fast Too Tasty, they get points and money, and there's gonna be more money. Do they get points and a half, like way more points for winning this one?
I don't.
My understanding is the points for Too Fast are unchanged, but there will be extra money, and then obviously the race itself pays points and a half, so that could drastically alter your starting position in the countdown, which could obviously play a big deal. Remember last year? I think it's often easy to forget that last year, had Austin Prock just started the championship chase in like 6th, he would have won the championship in top fuel. But he started 9th or 10th and only got up to 3rd. And Antron too.
He started out like 11th or 12th or 13th. Let me ask you guys a question, since we're getting people excited, but I do want to take a little bit of an informal poll. I have been asking other people, and I would like to ask you guys both what people call the participation trophy aspect of the countdown, where everybody makes it as long as you show up to the races. Is the time for that now over? Should we send a big sponsor home and tell them, no, you're not in the countdown? Because in this case, it would be Skag and Coletta Air, possibly. Are you really willing to tell those teams that they're not in the playoff because they didn't make it in the top 10 and tell them they're out? It seems like everybody is clamoring for that, but I want everybody to reveal their opinions.
I feel that if you're not in the top 10, you just don't get to. You got to be in the top 10. I understand there's sponsors. I understand there's things like that, but when you have 14 people or 14 cars in the countdown, just because you showed up to all of them, that doesn't. I mean, is that watering down the whole thing? They're going to get TV coverage no matter what. Is that really what we're talking about? Is TV coverage? Or
Galvin, what about you?
Yeah, I don't like the everybody gets in format. That's not my
Okay, so nobody likes it, except it is the case. Nobody seems to like it. I have not encountered one person, one driver, one team. The ones Austin Prock himself called it the participation award. They're all calling it the participation award, but no one has rejected it. Notice that. No one has said, you know what, we're 14th. We have elected to not participate in the countdown because we don't feel like we deserve it, right? Nobody says that. And I really believe that this is the kind of thing that in the future, the second they change it and one of the big teams misses it, they're going to bellyache big time.
Well, yeah, that's the nature of of everybody. That's what happens.
Well, yeah, I'm okay with dumping it next year too, and I just want to be on the record.
Honestly, I think a lot of people thought that it was dumped this year. I think that's my belief, at least the way that it was talked about early in the year by some of the drivers. Oh, we got to make sure. I mean, I remember Clay Millican after he won Chicago. It's so big, it's going to put his top 10 in points. Like, I think many of the drivers, frankly, had no idea that that it hadn't been dumped. I think everybody thought it was a COVID deal, and obviously COVID's over, and we're back to kind of normal society to an extent. And I think everybody just thought it disappeared until, like, I don't know, it was probably Norwalk. It was the first time that anybody was like, hey, that like everybody gets in if they showed up to every race, right? And then everybody kind of went, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You got Langdon and Schumacher on the outside and Top Fuel. They're going to both be in and get advantage of the reset. Both of those guys, like, is the playoff better or worse? Langdon, are they going to go on a run? Who knows? In Funny Car, it's kind of not applicable. It's basically Blake Alexander trying to get in. If he knocks Cruz Pedregon out, there's no penalty for Cruz. There's no penalty. Cruz gets knocked out. Guess what? He's been at all the races. Doesn't really matter. Not a big deal.
Well, I think Alex Laughlin's been to every race, right? He's behind Blake, so he's going to be. Yeah, so Alex will get in, even though, he's way back there in points.
That's the point. Pro stock, you got Bo Butner, you got Jerry Tucker, the two racers who have really, they're on the outside. Christian Quadra's on the inside. Should those guys not be part of the playoff? Right? Like, what would it mean for Bo and Jerry to not make the playoff? But Mason McGahey is going to be in there. Fernando Quadra is going to be in there. Chris McGahey, all the way back to 16th. You're going to have 16 cars in the pro stock countdown, according to my understanding of the rules. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
That's a lot, Joe. I'm with
you. I mean, look,
you're making the sponsor argument.
you're making the sponsor argument, but like, should NASCAR put Chase Elliott in because NASCAR's going to get mad? Like, or should Chase Elliott have won a race before now, and then maybe not gone snowboarding, broke his leg, and then got suspended,
Exactly. And that's
sorry.
the thing. It needs to be discussed, right? But you can't have people taking both sides of the argument at the same time. That's why everybody's got to go on the record here. And so far, I have not heard one person say that the system as it is the right system. Not one. And since I'm the guy doing the query, I've yet to take a stance. But I think by the fact that I'm doing the question, where I stand.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Good query, Joseph.
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Good query, Joe.
Yeah.
Good query.
Let's see if they change it for next year.
All right. So when Joe, are you getting into Indianapolis?
I arrive early Thursday morning.
Okay.
Early Thursday morning, I will arrive and go straight to the track for the Dodge Power Brokers U.S. Nationals. Super excited about it. And the marathon begins. Brian and those guys are getting in Tuesday. I think they're calling Wednesday of time runs and whatnot. I will be, Galvin, you're going to be in action. Of course, you got Bowling Green this weekend. Go win that one, man.
Yeah.
We can try. I got a bone to pick with Bowling Green from last year. I thought we were winning it last year. We got down to 5 cars, and I got a look I wasn't used to, and I was late reacting to it, and it was my fault.
How can you be used to any look racing as infrequently as you do?
Also very fair, but I believe it or not, I make like 1 million runs in my head. I think that's one of the advantages of announcing. Like I try to like stick myself in the seat. Actually, I had this MRI in my hand earlier this week, and it turns out your hand MRI is like the longest MRI you can get, which was news to me. So I had to sit there for like 40 minutes, face first in pillows, like I was trying to suffocate myself. And I literally just made run after run from each lane of each track for the next 2 weeks with 1 million different looks. Here's what it should look like if they're faster. Here's what it should look like if they're slower. Here's what it should look like if I leave first, if they leave first. I probably made like every scenario possible sitting in an MRI too. So I feel like I should be more prepared, and maybe that's blind ignorance in my behalf, or expectations or whatever. But yeah, I'm still upset about the look last year. Derek Denny. I even knew what he was going to do. I had it planned out, and it still caught me off guard, which is probably why I'm frustrated about it.
Yeah, here's a year later. He's still thinking about it.
He is totally. Look at him.
Look at that look. Right. That was the look.
I love this show so much. All right. So I get in on Thursday. It's going to be good. Hey, the Yes program's coming back. Oh, hey,
what?
The Yes program.
Friday
morning. Yes.
There's going to be a couple of Total Seal Trackside Tech Talks as well, since we're doing the shameless plugs. Total Seal Trackside Tech Talk. If you want to learn about ring seal and why it's important, thanks to the folks at Total Seal, head on down to Hartford's pit. Just get on the interwebs and look for the schedule or listen to us, and we'll let you know. I will certainly.
Yeah. We're going to have Friday night. We're going to have Chase Van Sant at Just the Basics. I thought Just the Basics was really good with Austin Prock last week, even though I was 8 minutes late. He told my uncle I was 12. It was really 8. That's ridiculous.
You were late for your own bit.
Totally late.
You were late for your own bit.
Look, Joe. Part of that reason is because you were out being a big TV star. Okay. So,
that, and then there was a rib involved. There was a pork rib involved.
Something like that. Yeah. But Chase Van Sant Friday. Look, I had Chase Van Sant do this with me in Seattle, and the crowd was sparse because it was Friday and super hot. But if you don't know Chase Van Sant, you should come hang out with him because he's a cool dude. He is a cool dude.
I had him on my 10 questions with Jason. Now that we're all promoting our bits, and I'll just give you a heads up. I believe I have Tim Wilkerson on Friday or Saturday. I don't know what day it is. I have Tim Wilkerson, but here's the deal. I had Dallas Glenn in this past week. He won.
He won the race.
I had Justin Ashley at the beginning. This dude's killing the world.
He won the race.
Okay.
I know. What I'm saying is, you come talk to me on Friday, you got a good shot at this thing.
All right, so I'm putting my money on Wilk this weekend.
Wilk
next weekend.
That's it.
Yeah, but who is going to win the U.S. Nationals?
Oh, right, should we do that? Should we make our early pick now.
Are you going to do another show? Okay, I don't like to pick it all. My point of asking that is I have no clue. Like, it's wide open. I don't feel like, okay, Justin Ashley has to be a little bit of a favorite in Top Fuel because he's won 5 races, but really though, it's wide open.
Wide open.
There's no favorite.
I agree.
I think it's too early to even start thinking about that too, because have you looked at the weather forecast? It's kind of all over the place for those 4 days.
How about Gage?
Yeah.
Gage is the safest.
Oh, okay.
Gage is odds on to
win. You're really stepping out there, Joe.
Yeah, well, that's why I said odds on. He's an odds on favorite to win the big go. It's like Gage or the field. Who would you take there, Galvin?
Gage.
Yeah,
no question.
So.
I don't know, man. They've all been off a couple weeks. Who knows? Maybe
Gage or the field, Jason Logan. That's the bet.
I'm taking the field.
Okay. I think that's very interesting. Gage or the field.
Yeah. I like it.
Feel free to answer in the chat. Gage Herrera or the field to win Indy.
By the way, can I tell you? Can I tell you the one class that I am actually most intrigued by? I mean, look, Indy is Indy, right? So it's the big go, and you win. It's the greatest thing in the world, and all of that. But like the one class that I'm going to be super zoned in on when we get to Indy, Pro Mod got turned upside down last weekend. Like Pro Mod is jacked right now. I'm super excited about this whole road to the championship deal they did and the way they reset their points, and it's kind of out of control.
Well, you had Khaled Abelushi and Justin Bond both with 1/10 reaction times and took themselves out. They still got very fast cars, but why is the question? Was it just they just missed a tree in this random situation, or did they feel the moment? And it is my belief that it's hard to not feel that moment. You've reset the points. You're running for a championship. Tell me all day long it's just like any other race. It's not.
Yeah. And Khaled had a dominant car, and Justin has had a dominant season, and they both kind of cracked first race. And Jason Lee, who, the car had won a race, but it was the race he missed. Jason Lee shows up having not won a race in his career in a Pro Mod on the quarter mile and took care of business,
running not well, by the way.
Right, yeah. Got a little Mike Cotton lucky, but that's okay. It happens sometimes. But yeah. And I don't know what Jason Scruggs' plan is, and he's obviously not championship eligible, and I don't know what happened in the final round with that car last weekend. But if Jason Scruggs is showing up at the rest of the races, I would literally be comp eliminator playing the ladder game if I was a Pro Mod. Like, I don't want to be on that side. Let him take out all my championship rivals.
Yeah, that's a good point. But see, that's the thing about Indy is every class is interesting. Every one of them, top to bottom, everything is interesting. Comp eliminator at the big go. You got all those guys coming up for the Brogdon bonus money, all that stuff. Like, you have a lot of fast cars, man. It's going to be insanity. Whoever wins, whatever, has done something major at the U.S. Nationals. And that's why, people can say, it's kind of in vogue right now to say that, Indy has lost its luster. And that's because you're old, you've been to 50 of them. You're used to it. It's still amazing for what it is. It's the biggest, most significant drag race on the planet, in the known universe, whatever you want to say. And nothing is going to change that.
You're right. Good call, Joe. Well, why don't we just leave it at that, Joe? You've said enough.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe.
All right.
You have hyped this
race up.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Yeah. No, I was surprised that I finally got invited. I like the fact that you guys, you waited a while to have me on. We're buds at the track. I could have been an easy first or second guest. I would have said yes. No, you guys went, 10, 12 episodes in. And then I appear on here, and I had fun. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
We always have fun hanging out, Joe.
Yeah, good times.
Joe and I were on the same flight coming back to Charlotte.
And Jason Logan screaming at his seatmate. It was terrible.
Freaking, I had.
About what?
This old guy came in with a dog, and then he, you know how you don't know where the row is. There's letters and there's numbers, and they tell you where your seat is, and they walk past it and they come back. Oh, excuse me, sir, I'm sitting here. And this old guy gets in with some stupid dog, that started barking on the freaking plane. I was so upset. And then his wife was sitting right behind, and she could not shut her mouth. It was like, yeah, this flight seems pretty packed. It's great. And she starts reaching around. Honey, is everything okay? I'm like, oh my God, shut the F up.
This guy was tuned up. And I think I had an encounter with the same guy because I'm in seat 8C, you know, like I'm on the aisle in the first row. That's not first class, where you can see first class where the other half lives, but you're not in there, right? But like my feet are in there, so I feel a little more special than everybody that's behind me. And the guy he looks at me and he goes, is this C? It's like I'm in my seat. No, but I just want to know if this it's written right here, sir. See this right here and over there? That's where it's indicated on the plane, where you can see which seat corresponds to the letter on your ticket.
Yeah, and on the Airbus 321 in row 10, A, B, and C, that's where they keep the medical crap, or things like that and all that. Well, he decided he needed the bin was closed. He needed to open it, put his backpack in there, and then here comes the flight attendant, who was a little bossy. She goes, "Whose backpack is this?" And he goes, "Oh, it's mine." And she goes, "The reason why the thing was closed, sir, because we have all the emergency stuff in there, sir, and you can't put your bag in there, sir." I was like, "Oh yeah, here we go."
You got in trouble. We were both very aggravated at the conclusion of our Minneapolis to Charlotte flight.
Yes,
but we had like a 3-hour layover.
Yeah, in Charlotte.
Mine was 4.5 hours. This was 3 hours, and so we solved all problems.
Yeah, we made things happen. We had a Bloody Mary, and everything was okay.
Multiple double.
Bloody Mary.
Yeah,
multiple doubles. It was great.
Yeah. Joe looked at his bill. He goes, "Oh my God, how much did I spend on 2 Bloody Marys?"
What do? Break a window? I tried to go in the Admirals Club, and it was like going into a third world country.
This is for the 800th time that I'm going to tell you this is why the Admirals Club sucks, and you guys need to be Delta flyers. Because I got off.
Nonsense. I have talked to a lot of Delta flyers. They're all complaining too. It's public transit and it's mass airline traffic.
Hey, listen, I got off the plane today. I got off the plane in Atlanta. Yeah. I had 43 minutes until takeoff for my other flight. I had 11 minutes till boarding. Went into the Sky Club, had roasted chicken with mac and cheese and veggies and an old fashioned, and paid $0.
Well, that's great. Good for you.
I'm just picturing how fast you ate that to get to your plane.
Put it in his bag. Look, you can tell.
Fortunately, I landed at gate A15. The Sky Club was at A17, and my Indy flight was at A25, so it worked out really well.
You're good.
But,
you're good.
Yeah.
Delta left those people on the tarmac for like 6 hours the other day. It was 100.
They would have never done that if I was on the plane, Joe. Yeah. Never done it. It's because there were no platinum medallion members on that flight. That's why. Okay.
Oh, is that the Delta policy? Is that they're going to let the regular?
You know
people?
What? I guarantee you, Jason Galvin's 1,000% correct on that.
There was no people. Who's on this flight? There's no platinum people. All right, let them burn.
Yeah, that's it.
Locked.
That's the way they do
it. Like on the Titanic. Sorry, people, we're going to leave this cane locked. Yeah, you guys upstairs. Right. You know, there's some people in first class that are going to slowly get on the lifeboats. You guys will be down here. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Oh, I love it. All right, we've taken way too much of your time, Joe Costello.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you guys inviting me in on this.
A national treasure, and again,
yes, he is.
Just make sure you get the fire T-shirt. The fire. Yes. Everybody can get it. It's in the chat. It's in the comments. You can go there, get it, and make sure. And we'll all have a fire day, and we'll all wear them at the track before the end of the season. Okay.
I love it.
Oh, that'd be great.
All right, guys. Later. Goodbye, Joseph. We'll see you later. All right, Jason Calvin, you don't understand how he was yelling at me and that bar. Like, you guys never had me on this show. What the hell is going on? You two need
Okay, I was wondering where that came from because you hit me up and you're like, let's have Joe on. And I was like, that's a random suggestion, but yeah, sure, it sounds great. Honestly, I would not be opposed to some sort of WFO Life's a Drag collab deal where like once a month we have Joe Costello on type of deal. All right. I think that would be good.
Joe, what do you think?
As if you guys do your show consistently enough for that to happen.
All right. See, that's the negativity we don't need.
Yeah, there's Joe Costello. What do you mean
I
as if we do it consistently enough?
That's the real Joe Castello coming out right there.
I'm
The
telling
passive aggressive Joe Castello. You need me more than I need you.
We have
pretty consistently done at least 2 shows a month.
I want you to be successful, guys. You got to be successful. You guys are doing this. Everybody thought you were going to fail. They were all saying behind the scenes you wouldn't make it past week 3.
There it is.
And by everybody, we mean the guy who's our guest on week 12.
Yeah,
that's not true. I had your back the whole time. How dare you?
How
all right,
dare
get me out of here.
All right, goodbye, Joe. All right, Galvin. Hey, do well this weekend because I want you to be in peak physical form for Indy.
We're gonna be there. I'll see you next week.
No bad looks. I'm kicking him out because he's in a car. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to our shenanigans and our hooliganism. It was fun, and we're glad that Joe Castello showed up to have fun with us. Where we actually get in the vehicles and on the plane to get to Indy. And if not, we'll see you guys there. Have a great night. Woo!